a couple national championships from now and you get the right call from a WNBA team, is there not a part of you that wouldn't entertain the conversation at least?
Not 1 ounce. Not WNBA. Look.
Oh. Oh. Hello, everyone. Welcome to this edition of Glass Half Full. I'm Craig Melvin. Our next guest doesn't really need much of an introduction, but she deserves every word of one. Dawn Staley. Of course, an Olympic gold medalist, a national championship winning coach, and has transformed the game in myriad ways, not just in South Carolina. I'm talking about women's sports at large. We should note, we had this conversation before that, shall we say, sort of public back and forth with Gino Auriemma. But this is a pretty fascinating conversation, even without talking about that. So I hope you enjoy this edition of Glass Half Full. Coach Dawn Staley, you know, we like to start the podcast with a toast. I'm a brown nectar of the gods guy, so I've got my bourbon. I know you're in season, so you do not. Nonetheless, we're going to toast. What would Dawn Staley like to celebrate and toast to today?
I'm going to celebrate and toast Uncommon Favor, my book being a 2-time bestseller, which is unimaginable, but is worthy of a toast.
Cheers. Here to that. To Uncommon Favor, the book, and just God's uncommon favor in general. Is there one moment that stands out above the others, a moment that fundamentally changed you?
I will have to say this. I never wanted to be a coach. Like ever. Coaching was not in my DNA until the moment I took the job at Temple, because I was challenged to take the job. The late great, I call him the late great AD at Temple at the time, Dave O'Brien, asked me 2 questions during an interview that I didn't know I was being interviewed. Like, go figure. He asked me to come in and just talk to him and have a conversation with him, because I told him I wasn't interested in coaching 2 or 3 times prior to me actually meeting him. And then when I met him, he asked me 2 questions, and one of them was, can you lead? And I'm looking at this man, I'm like, can I lead? Like, what kind of, like, my bubble talk. And you know, for me, I wear my heart on my shoulders. And you'll know.
I know.
So I probably looked at him with a weird face and just basically I was like, I've been the captain on virtually every team that I've been on. I think I can lead.
Yeah.
But it was the next question that got me. He said, can you turn Temple women's basketball program around? And I'm looking around like, is that a challenge? Like, does he really know me, that I'm drawn to challenges? And then, Craig, I took the job like 2 weeks later, and now it's 25 years later. And so know.
You only took the job to prove him wrong?
Yes. Yes.
Huh. I never knew that.
Like, I didn't see myself being a career coach. And it's probably the best way for me to go into something. Because every day I can be my authentic self. Because the goal wasn't to be the best coach. The goal was to turn Temple women's basketball program around. That was the goal.
Was there a moment at Temple where you realized, okay, this is different. I'm creating something special?
I credit my former players, my former Temple players who really looked up to me. They really played hard for me. They become some of my best friends. The way they made me feel gave me stamina. It gave me a purpose. And I thought that, hey, I'm having such a great time. And with this, now I want to win. Like, I want to win. I want to win a national championship. But I didn't think we could do it at Temple, because
really?
we would get out talented.
Yeah.
We outwork people, but people out talented us in the NCAA tournament.
And is that one of the reasons that you thought, you know what, now's the moment to head south?
It was kind of the frustrating part of it, because if I'm going to be in this profession, right? And because I chose coaching, I got more like aspirations to do more within the sport. And one of them was winning, right? One of them was winning. That was winning probably, or wanting to win, made me do the uncomfortable thing, which was up and leave Temple, up and leave the very beautiful people that entrusted me with their careers. So I had a room full of tearful faces.
Yeah.
When I decided to take this job, and I told them, I vividly remember that I told them, there's going to come a time in your life, no matter how old or young you are, that you're going to have to do things for the greater good of you and the greater good of your career.
Yes.
That's going to hurt people, but it's not the type of hurt that stays with them, because they'll see the bigger picture once it's all said and done.
You know, it's funny you say that, Coach, because I remember when I left Columbia. You were going to Columbia. I was leaving Columbia. And I was 28, and my whole family was there. My whole family's still there. My grandma could watch me on TV every night during the evening news.
Day 4 Water Safety Week. Tonight we're focusing on safety in the open water.
And I remember when I said to my grandma, I think I'm going to take this job in local news in D.C. And my grandma was like, why? I bought a house. I was dating this girl. Like, I put down roots. And I think for them, like, it got no better. And I was stepping out on faith. And I didn't know if it was going to work out. But I just felt like I needed to go to grow. And I also felt like there were a lot of people at the time who were like, go with God. You're leaving a good thing. And, it's kind of worked out for both of us.
Yes.
I want to go back to the beginning, if you will, because what I've always loved about your story, and there are people like this, Jordans like this, Tigers like this, and other non-athletes as well. Some people don't fully appreciate the obsession with winning, the obsession with being the best, the obsession with competition. And I get the sense for you that may have started somewhat at an early age. How did young Dawn, playing basketball with a bunch of boys on the streets of Philadelphia, how did that contribute to this?
I don't think there would be a this if it wasn't for that, just growing up playing with the guys, because it teaches you more about even just winning. The guys were guys in every sense. One, they made me persevere. Not just on the court, because you could be physical, yes, that's part of it. But the mental games that they put you through, they don't pick you at first, right? They call you names. This is a rite of passage.
What'd they call you?
Tomboy, go put a skirt on. They did all that corny stuff. There ain't no depth to that. There wasn't even really no depth to it.
just lazy
Right.
insults.
Right.
Lazy.
Right. So it was that. Like, it was those type of things, but I built up such great armor for when I left the neighborhood. Yeah, like there's nothing, just from those times with the guys, there is nothing that I don't think I can't accomplish. It was my hood that taught me certain things and to build up this strength to endure anything. I don't think young people are built that way nowadays, because most parents, they don't want their kids to go through anything. They don't want them to hurt.
But Coach, don't you think some of that comes from, I mean, listen, you grew up hard. I didn't grow up as hard, but, you know, like if my parents hugged me or said, I love you, it was a big deal. It was a special occasion. And now, like a random Tuesday afternoon's a special occasion. Like everything's special. And so we went from this, you know, this idea of, oh, kids are fine, let them figure it out on their own. And now, to your point, the pendulum swings back, and this gentle parenting, we don't want them to suffer. We want to take care of all of their problems there's been this overcorrection. And I feel like it may have been well-intentioned. I don't know, maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was just guilt.
Some of it is parents' inability to trust the foundation that they instill in their kids. You have to be like you have to trust that. Like if you're parenting the way you're supposed to parent and you feel good about, you know, those lessons in house, you know, you should be okay.
Yeah.
You should be okay. Allow the work that you've put in as a parent go to work.
And you know what? Our parents did that. Now that you say that.
Yes.
Like your mom, my mom, I don't know if they did it knowingly. I don't know if they were aware of what they were doing, but they did sort of trust that whatever system they'd created, that we were going to be fine. They didn't second guess it.
Right.
That's an interesting point.
And I would say this, and they knew when to step in.
Yes. And it wasn't often.
Right.
They didn't step in often.
Yes.
No.
Yes. So, I mean, part of that is just trust. Like, it's okay to fail at times, as long as you understand the lesson behind the failure.
Have you noticed as a coach a difference between players and their resiliency, their attitude, players that you coached at Temple when you first started versus players you coach now?
Yeah, there's a huge difference. Here's the difference. The players' parents at Temple allowed me to coach. Like they say, here, she's yours now. You know, you got her.
Versus now, what is it like now?
Oh, versus now, you got to sit down and have a conversation with parents, the agents, the trainers, like everybody. And you know what, Craig? I don't even mind that. I don't mind that.
Really? Not a little bit?
I don't mind it because I like to be clear. Like I like to communicate very clearly. I like to know what people are saying and doing, because ultimately you're going to make my job harder if we're not on the same page.
But isn't there a small part of you sometimes that does think, you know what? I'm Dawn Staley. I've won Olympic gold medals. I've won championships as a player, as a coach. Like, I do not have to sit here and entertain this nonsense. There's never a part of you that thinks, come on, trust me. Trust me. I'm Dawn.
Yeah. No, that doesn't even come into play.
Okay.
It really doesn't. Like it means nothing to them. Like it means that doesn't.
Shouldn't it mean something?
It should. Like if I'm a young person making a decision on who's going to be in my life forever, who's going to teach me, who has produced professionals, who has basically 100% graduation rate, like all of these things. Not damn the Olympic gold medals, damn the coach in the Olympic Games. If you're just talking about me as a coach and what I've been able to produce, it would be a no-brainer. Like I should be turning folks away.
Yes.
Right? No. No, but I like to work for whatever I get too. Like I don't want anybody to give me anything. Like don't give me anything, because if somebody gives you something, you owe them. They expect something back.
Yep.
And I don't want that. I want to earn your heart. Okay? And I want to earn your parents' hearts. I want to earn your trainers' hearts. I want to earn that part of it. Because if you choose me as your coach, I'm going to give you all of me. Like you get all of me for the rest of your life. Whether you want me or you don't want me, you're always going to have me as a resource.
I remember, I think that before you started coaching at South Carolina, I had probably been to 2 women's basketball games, and now they're all sellouts. They're on TV every week. You know what you've created and how much people appreciate what you've created down there especially. But that required a culture change. And I don't want to sugarcoat it, but basically you took generations of losing, and in the span of a few years, you turned them into winners. How? How did you do it? How difficult was it?
I mean, it was very difficult because when you're in a winning or losing run, those are your habits, and that's what you're used to. And you're so afraid to change and to do something different because, you know, people don't really like change, no matter what it is. So, I mean, it really took mom and poppiness. Like, really, we mommed and popped it.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
You don't get the bump that we've gotten in attendance just by winning. So the culture shift was, I mean, the people are super nice here. Like, they come to the games more so because they like us.
Yes.
They really, whether we win or lose, yes they feel it, but it's more, it's more for.
But that's a remarkable thing, because I remember growing up there, you did, first of all, you didn't go to women's sports. If you were a dude, you just didn't go. Like that wasn't even, and with all due respect, Coach, I mean, you know, you're from Philly, a little rough around the edges. You don't really look and sound like South Carolina.
Right.
And then all of a sudden you come in and it's like, oh my God, she's winning and people love her.
One of our fams, his grandma told him this. It's a Southern woman, South Carolinian grandmother said, when you treat people good, they treat you better. And it's so true. It's so very true. Like, I think we have been accessible to all the people here in South Carolina. Like I've had opportunity to leave here. Like I have. Like, several opportunities. And I'm like, there is no better place to work. There's no better place to live.
Coach, I hear you. However, if a couple national championships from now and you get the right call from a WNBA team, is there not a part of you that wouldn't entertain the conversation at least?
Not 1 ounce. Not WNBA. Look.
Oh. But if an NBA team called, you would take the call.
I entertained the Knicks job. Like I did.
How far along did that conversation get?
I came up there and interviewed. I sat down with Leon and Wes and the whole Knick organization I went through the process. Like every candidate on their list, came and sat down with them, had lunch, discussed, was interviewed, got up on a whiteboard. No, they didn't offer me the job. I'll say this, Craig, that they're not ready.
What do you mean?
Like, no NBA team is ready for a female coach right now.
Not one.
One, you have to prepare for it. You can't just interview.
How do you prepare for it?
Culturally, you have to prepare for it. Culturally. Because I did ask questions like, how would you hiring me impact your job on a daily basis? Because it would. It would impact the media. It would impact like the owner. Why would you do such a thing? You know, they have to take on more than the norm if they hire a male. And you have to prepare your franchise for that.
Yeah.
Not just your players. Of course, they have to be in agreement that this is the best thing for the franchise. You have to get the GM is going to be asked questions that they've never been asked before.
Yeah.
The president, the owner, like all of the staff members. I mean, I think it would be a great thing, though. I think having a woman's touch around any franchise is going to help. Culturally, yes.
But let me ask you this, because you didn't seem as open to the idea of being a WNBA coach, but you did seem to kind of get excited about the prospect of being an NBA coach. Why is that?
I actually enjoyed the interview process. I did. I enjoyed talking culture.
Is that because Dawn Staley there's a part of you that enjoys having to prove yourself?
Yes.
To break down these barriers.
I do.
At least you're self-aware.
Yeah, I did get excited about the Knicks job. I did. I got excited more so than I've ever have any NBA, because I interviewed for the Trailblazers job during the pandemic, like in 20 or 2021.
If the right NBA team came along, would you consider it? Well, you have to say yes. You've interviewed for 2 jobs.
Well, here's what I'm doing, Craig. I'm putting it out there so NBA franchises can get ready for a female coach. I might not be the one, but I'm letting people know that you have to prepare if you're going to hire a female coach. You have to prepare. You can't just hire the coach and then prepare, because it'll be a rocky road for everybody, like every person because they have to deal with things that they don't normally have to deal with because it's a female head coach.
Let's talk about favorite things about South Carolina. Not the program, but the state.
Yeah.
Food.
I can't even get the whole gist of the food because I don't eat meat.
I don't think I knew this.
Yeah. I didn't.
You're a vegetarian?
Pescatarian.
Oh, so just fish.
Yeah, so I need them to make, how they make the barbecue?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I need them to do that. I need them to shred up some salmon. Look.
Nobody wants that. You would be the only one that ate that.
I'm sure I won't be. I just gotta get the right chef to cook it.
When did you become a pescatarian?
When I took the job here. Like seriously, like I've never had any South Carolina barbecue. Like
in your life?
In my life.
Oh, coach.
Yes. Well, here's what happened. One of our assistant coaches at the time wanted to lose some weight. So she said, I'm going to give up meat. And I said, I'll do it with you. And I never went back.
Do you feel lighter? Do you feel different?
I feel good. I didn't eat a whole lot of meat anyway. Every now and then I would have a steak, but I've gotten some replacements. Like there's some plant-based hot dogs that are pretty darn good. And hamburgers.
Stop it.
Seriously.
You're about to lose your South Carolina card. They're gonna come take it. They're gonna let you coach. You're taking your South Carolina card. I didn't. This is something about Dawn Staley I did. But it's interesting because, and this is gonna sound like a generalization or a stereotype, because sometimes I see you on the sideline and you seem so intense and kind of aggressive. Yes. I just assumed that you were eating steak like every other night.
I must be starving myself from steak.
That's what it is. That's also what it is. Coach, is there a moment that you look back on that taught you how much your legacy there has mattered and matters?
Yes, I'll say this, and it comes from Black people. And I was at an event last night where I met the first Black woman who was in education here in South Carolina. Like I forget her name, but I met her at the event last night, and she told me that she had never been to any sporting events. She actually said she wasn't welcome here. She was a student here, but people were really mean. People were degrading. And she was like, now, she said, I lost my season tickets, during the pandemic, to get the lower bowl. She's like, now I'm just way up high in the nosebleeds, but I still come because I'm supporting you. If I heard that story once, I heard that story 1,000 times, that, Black people weren't welcome on campus. They couldn't walk through campus. And the only reason they're stepping foot on campus is to come to our games.
Yes.
Like I've heard this so many times, and it's unbelievable. Like that's why I feel so indebted to this community, because we were able to do something that historically has never been done, is to make everybody feel welcomed. And to create revenue for this town, like this city, and sometimes people lose sight of, the amount of money I make, or our assistant coaches make, or how much money we spend on our program. Yet, I think the city's happy, right?
There have been some stories written about the economic impact
Yes.
of Dawn Staley and the Carolina women's basketball program. Which former player surprised you the most on or off the court?
Oh my goodness. Probably Alicia Gray. She's a chameleon. She's a winner. So she's going to be able to play any different style and adapt to any coach. And she was one that didn't talk a whole lot while she was here. And now she's utilizing her voice, and she's becoming like an incredible woman.
Something else I'm curious about. What do you think your players say about Dawn Staley when you're not in the room?
Oh, that I'm crazy. Yeah, they do. They think I'm crazy. Here's the thing, because Craig, I give everything its own place. So if something funny's happening in this second, and then the next second something that gets under my skin, Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, I'm gonna give it the energy that it deserves. So that can be deemed crazy.
What is that one moment that Dawn Staley is still chasing?
Well, I want our program to be revenue producing.
Well, that's an odd answer.
I do.
But you could make the argument the program is revenue producing, but just not in the traditional sense. No?
Yes, I just said that, but in a traditional sense. Here's why. Because we won't get the respect that we deserve on campus, right? We don't. Like in our athletics department, we are looked, even though we win national championships, we are frowned upon, because a big part of our budget is dedicated to our program. And we don't see any money coming in from an NCAA standpoint. Like I'll say this, men's basketball, they can go to the NCAA tournament or not and still receive money from their tournament. And it doesn't hit as hard when they don't go to the tournament. If we don't go to the tournament, if we don't win a national championship, then that in the red hits a lot heavier. And you're not respected in that way.
What is the one moment that you hope people remember you for?
I really don't have one moment. I want to be remembered as an odds beater.
I think it's safe to say you already are, but okay. You could check that off the box. You might need to find a new moment, but okay, I'll let you have that. Coach, this was great.
Always.
I so enjoyed this, and you're refreshingly honest too.
You're the best, Craig.
I don't know about that,
Yes.
but thank you. Well, there you have it, Dawn Staley. I've always enjoyed Coach's candor, not just about basketball, but about life in general. And I hope you enjoyed that part of our conversation as well. And if you know anything about Dawn Staley losing to UCLA by 28 points, it is going to sit with her the entire offseason. And you can best bet she's probably figuring out some ways to smack back next year. By the way, the book, Uncommon Favor, it's still out. Lots of people love it, myself included. So if you can grab a copy, grab a copy. Until then, the corporate overlords here at 30 Rock encourage you to download, subscribe, like, comment, and share. Got all 5. Boom. Hope you enjoyed this edition of Glass Half Full. Until next time.
Hey, thanks for watching. And don't forget, you can catch the Today Show every morning on NBC or take Today when you're on the go. Just follow the Today podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen.